the NBA to Hollywood. Bryant for three. What is this kid?
Hello and welcome to the Mamba Generation Tribute and Special, presented by The Free Aesthetic. This is a conversation about the late, great Kobe Bryant, specifically focused on how he impacted and inspired the generations that grew up watching him play. My name is not Austin Pope, but he'll be with us in a second, along with some special guests, so stay tuned. My name is John Schwerb. I'm an LA native, filmmaker, and founder of The Free Aesthetic, a boutique management agency who is honored to represent Mr. Austin O. Pope. And it's hard to believe that it's already been a year since the tragedy of Kobe and Gigi. And I'm sure, like all of you, Austin is a gigantic Kobe fan. So we wanted to do something in his honor. And that's what you're watching right now. We wanted to bring his friends together, bring some people, tell some stories, talk about Kobe's legacy, and bring attention to the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation. The Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation, formerly known as the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Foundation, is a nonprofit dedicated to creating a positive impact for underserved athletes and young women in sports. This special is not affiliated with the foundation, but we wanted to use our collective platforms to bring attention to a good cause. You can find more information in the description below. So, with that, let's bring in the Burbank kid himself, Mr. Austin O. Pope. What's good, dude?
What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
Hey, how you living?
Hey, man, I'm living well, man. Living better now.
I am pumped to be doing this with you, man.
I can say the same, my brother. I can say exactly the same.
So we got some special guests coming. It's kind of an open invite, but the idea was to bring some of our friends together and talk Mamba. So I know I kind of threw the idea out at you, but why are we doing this, man? What are your thoughts?
First and foremost, I think it's just for an amazing cause. Like you said, bringing friends together for such a special person to all of us. And he's beyond special to me, obviously, and obviously everybody else that we gave the open invitation to the open run. So for me, man, it's been a blast, and it's a major blessing to be able to talk about somebody that meant this much and has so much meaning to my life and has meant a lot in other people's life as well. So
I have some numbers here. You were 2 years old when he was a rookie. So yeah. When did he kind of first pop on your radar as a young kid from Burbank, California?
Well, I'll say to start, I will say, since I brought a handy dandy prop and I came a little prepared, I don't know if you could see that, but this was from 1999 or 1998. So that had to have been me being, what is that, 4 or 5? I was like 4 or 5 years old at the time. Mm-hmm. So for me, it dates back, obviously, to then. Whenever I had my first memories of basketball, it started with the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq. Like, that's the first thing that I remember. I mean, I know my family was, I was born into the Laker family. Mom was a huge Laker fan, Magic Johnson, Michael Cooper, James Worthy, Kareem, and all that kind of stuff. So Byron Scott. So for me, I've always been born a Laker. And then my generation I was born into was the Kobe era. So we go back. Me and Kobe go way back.
Bro, this is going to be fun.
I know it is, man. I'm excited because I already got the juice. I feel him. Like, I feel the presence of this in this little room I'm in right now. So, Hey, man, I'm ready for whatever.
Man, yeah, we both, just between the two of us, got some juice going. So absolutely. I can't wait.
And I have to say this. I know we have anticipated guests to come on, but honestly, I don't care if other guests come on or not. Like, I can already feel that the energy between you and I is already where it's going to go. But bringing other people on is just going to be icing on the cake. So
Yeah, I could talk Kobe with you forever, and we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So this isn't the first occurrence.
Hold up. Oh, bro, look who we got in this thing. This is
boy in there.
This is Jordan L. Jones. What's good, dude?
What's up, players?
You have seen him on The Rel Show. You have seen him on Snowfall. You have seen him in an episode of Future Man, in Shameless, in a commercial with Michael B. Jordan, and a bunch of other stuff, and he's only on the rise. Jordan L. Jones, number one, huge Kobe fan. And I'm happy enough to call a dear friend and the collaborator. So thank you for being in this, man. We couldn't have done something like this for Mamba without having you in
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I always wanted to be like talking about him and something. I'll be watching like certain like interviews, like First Take and like certain stuff like that. So what's your memory of Kobe Bryant? I was like, what about my memory?
Hey, exactly.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, it made me think of it because Austin and I were trying to put something together for the, because obviously we're in the pretty much the 1 year anniversary of all that crap. And
that's crazy.
Right?
1 year, January 26th.
January 26th, man. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget that.
Nah.
It's been a year already, man.
The thing that hit me, bro, when there was like a year, it's not like it was a reminder that because normally when a year comes by, you're like, oh, it's an anniversary. I'm like, we're still mourning, dude. Like we're still like we spent.
I don't feel like he dead. Like yeah, he is, but it's like man, it's like still so.
No,
it hits me, man. We grew up with Kobe. Like when Kobe's rookie year, you were 3 years old, right? So all we know is Kobe.
Well, I'm from Los Angeles, but I was born in Dallas. But I moved out here when I was 5 years old, 27 now. So, like, I'm from LA. Went to school out here, went to USC, everything was out here, everything. So, when I first knew about Kobe, obviously was like, all right, what's our team? The Lakers. All right, cool. Like, who's our guy? Shaq. And then this guy, Kobe, is just on the court. And me as a, when you playing basketball little and stuff like that, of course you have like certain idols. And if you're a big guy, you know what I'm saying? Like you idolize big guys. Four, you idolize fours. Which however you play or however you envision yourself playing, you idolize that. So that was the first thing. I was just like, oh, that's the best player at the position that like I want to be. I could never be Shaq. I'm never gonna be just dunking and missing free throws all the time. Like what? Like even though I'm not gonna be Kobe either, I'm gonna try to be more like Kobe than I'm Shaq. I'm gonna be asking for the ball in the post. That was like my first introduction to Kobe. So when I watched my first season, I probably was like 8. Let's be real. Like, I was sitting like I got school and getting whoopings and stuff from my mom. Back in that.
For sure.
And when I was like 8, 9, I remember those seasons were the ones where I'm like, oh shit, we're good. Basically, like when we started winning, when we went back to back, that's when I was like, Kobe is like the realest player.
He's him. Like he's really him.
Yeah, like he's really that guy because like for me, and like it's kind of like with Steph Curry, you know what I'm saying? It's like dunking is cool as hell. But Kobe was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going by you dunking. I'm fadeaway 3, fadeaway game winners. 2 game winners in a row versus Blazers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really just seeing what seeing what determination is, seeing what, and this is not a knock on anybody, but Kobe and Shaq interviewed each other. If you haven't seen each other, but they were joking about the fact that after that, championship or the first championship, whatever the case is, like Shaq wasn't working in the summer. Like he wasn't working on his game. And he literally goes, what I need to work on my game for? He literally said that in the interview. And I didn't even disagree with him. Like, what I need to work? All I do is turn around and I dunk on everybody. I'm making foul. He was like, I'm going to Cabo drinking pina coladas. Like, I'm taking my time off. And I understood it as a human being. But that's what made Kobe different. It was like, yeah, I also averaged 30, but right after he won the ring, I was back in the lab. Because I knew that there are things that I could do. Like I knew that there are things that I can perfect. And I was like, damn, mindset-wise, that's when it kicked in for me that Kobe was not just the best player in the league, but just the best to me. Because as someone who, even if you're not gonna play basketball, the laws of success are still there. Yo, it's not gonna come easy. Yo, you're gonna have to grind hard. Yo, even when you feel you got this, keep working. Do not stop working, because that's when you get complacent, and that's when you can't ever make a free throw, Shaq. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, all the things that we are like, Kobe did this is crazy. He didn't think it was crazy because it's like, I worked my ass off for this shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
We get 50 and 60 and 50 and 40 and 60 and 50 and 50. We're like, this is fucking crazy. And he's like, not crazy to me because I just was in
this is what I do.
When Kobe first came in the league, remember, he played Utah in the playoffs. And when he played Utah in the playoffs, he airballed 4 times in a row for them to lose. If you rewatch the game, the announcers wrote him off. Just like they'll write off anybody who airballs. Like, I'm not even blaming them. But just like after that game, if you rewatch it, it's horrible to watch. Just boom. Airball. Give it back to him. Airball again. Now they're in overtime. Airball again. Give it back to him. Airball again. Not just missing. He airballed 4 times in a row. And Shaq grabbed him to the side. And you can just like look at like, oh my God, there's no way. And he went to the gym right after that. And I don't know how long he was in the gym, probably in the gym right now. But like,
oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
In the first game of next season, it was like an exhibition game. Didn't even matter. He dropped like 38 on Utah. Just like that type of mentality, not normal. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I was like, this dude is not normal. Only that, like, I look up to him because he's not a superhuman.
Wait,
like,
JJ, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you see everybody in the chat?
Yeah, I see Fritz. I just wanted to finish my point.
Because I didn't know, because I could barely swipe, and I was like, all right, I just had to see the surprise element, you know what I'm saying?
What up?
We're chilling, man. Chilling, dog.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
I got to do this part because this is hella funny. So
Take it.
All right, so AJ and me are cousins, right? Me and AJ cousins. Go back like a full flat with the Cadillacs. Obviously, John linked us two together, but John and AJ also have a connection that I don't know if you know about, JJ.
I don't.
Okay, so AJ, welcome my cousin onto the Zoom.
Appreciate
my
you.
good brother, future president of the world if he wants to. Whatever.
Yeah.
Good to have you on.
Yeah. No. It's great to be in the presence of so many legends. Small world. So yeah, JJ, what Austin was talking about. So obviously, yeah, Austin and I, man, like growing up for as long as I can remember, like one of my best friends. Like every other weekend, I'm going to Burbank. He coming to LA. I'm staying at his house. He's staying at my house. I'm beating him in 21 in the backyard, you know,
oh my
all
God,
that. And so he's telling me about, you know, all the projects and stuff that he's doing with John and, you know, working with you. And I was like, John, like and I was like, I know John. Like me and John played ball together. And so when I found out they're working together, it was like, what? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, man. Small world.
So yeah, that's a little bit of background there.
And then JJ and AJ, how do you guys know each other?
I've known AJ since before AJ knew me. Like, you understand, there's a lot of Pan Pacific legends right here in this Zoom. We rode on the same bus together in school. And yeah, man, I miss those days, Prince. Those bus rides were hilarious, man.
Sandy driving the bus.
Yeah, Sandy on the bus. Just like bus debates, man. I would have, and like Austin, you don't know this, but like at a time, it's so funny. It's so funny how time just, because at a time, and Fritz, you remember this, man, me and Leland would argue every day about Kobe Bryant, every day. And because that was his boy. And my main thing was something that's not even talked about even anymore, was the fact that it's like, yeah, but he ain't never gonna get a ring. He ain't never gonna get a ring. Like, his first 8 years, you know, like first 5, 6. Man, remember this is like year 6 of Bron, and I was a huge Kobe fan. And just going through those, like, just those arguments and stuff, and Fritz would just always say something stupid just to piss me off. But like, yeah, Fritz would do this thing where I'd say something hilarious. And Fritz would tap me on the shoulder and be like,
"Hey, that's not funny, bro.
It's not funny."
Hey,
it's not funny.
So Fritz, it's so perfect that you're here because you connect a lot of people, and this whole thing's kind of about our generation that grew up with Kobe. What was your first experience with memories of Kobe?
Man, well, first off, it's like I said, you know, it's amazing to be, you know, talking with you guys and to be all connected. It's, you know, we're all doing our own things in life and growing up quick. So this is great. But to answer your question, I'd say I got one story for you. But I think the first thing I remember about Kobe is laying on my grandmother's bed, like listening to Chakern and like all those guys, like coming home from school and being able to watch that before I had to go to bed, like in elementary, like just greatness, winning every night. You know what I mean? Like, and just being able to like look forward to something every day and see somebody be great and say like, wow, like I can look up to somebody and I can be like that. You know what I mean? And then I think just fast forwarding a little bit, I think, John, you probably don't know this, and I know Austin and JJ do, but and don't get mad at me, but I'm a Clipper fan. And so
I wasn't gonna say. It's so funny that you said that because in my head I was like, I was in my head. Isn't this funny? I was talking about the Lakers, right?
Yeah, but I say that because it's like, and let me caveat, I've never been, you know, the Clipper fan that's disliked the Lakers or was like the Lakers have to lose, or, you know what I mean? I don't like the Lakers because I love the Lakers, you know, legendary. You know what I mean? Like I said, Chakern, growing up with it, Kobe Bryant, right? But I say that because of my story. And the reason I'm a Clipper fan is because growing up, my parents wanted to get season tickets to an NBA team. And so, right, all the time. And so, you know, it was let's get Laker tickets. But as you can imagine, the wait list, you know, is very expensive. And all those things, it was tough to do that. And so the next best option was Corey Maggette, Elton Brand, Sam Cassell, you know what I mean, on the Clippers. And so we went to those games, and I was a Clippers fan. But I remember the first time that it was a Clipper home game, and they were playing the Lakers. And he probably did something extraordinary like he did most games. But I remember in my mind, and the feeling I had.
Especially against the bum-ass Clippers.
Oh, come on, dude.
Okay.
Because, okay, so AJ, hold on one second. Well, first of all, I partook in all them games that you went to because, you know, I would come down to LA and be like, yo, you know, we're going to go to the Clipper game. We're going to go to the Dodger game because they had season tickets. It was like when I go to LA and be with AJ and my uncle, my auntie Kim and Big Aaron, I was like, it's lit because we going to Clipper game. We going to Dodger games. We going to Avenger games. We was doing the whole thing. Spartans. Do you remember we was in the arena football type of stuff? But yeah, definitely him being a Clipper fan, and I did not like the Clippers. So when I used to go to the games, AJ be like, look, we got tickets. I was a big Kobe and T-Mac guy. So like, hey, we got the Rockets, you know, in town. Take me to go see T-Mac, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool. Or Steve Nash. I love Steve Nash. So for me, that was cool because I could I wasn't a fan, but I could go watch my favorite players. But now to get to John's favorite team is the Clippers, and we talk about that all the time. And
there we go.
I knew I messed with you, dude.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
That's great.
But exactly what you said, though. I never hated it was because it was so clear. Like, Kobe's on some other stuff. And the same reason. Clipper tickets were cheaper. So you would go to see McGrady and Yao and Kobe and all those dudes. And you they're the lovable losers. So when we get blown out by 50, JJ, like that's what we do, bro. I'm surprised when we win, you know, right? Like let the winning happen for Kobe and the Lakers and all that stuff. So Fritz, that's so funny, but it's true how you can be a Clipper fan, but the Lakers, especially when coming up, Kobe, they were just another thing. It's like we can't even pretend. So
yeah, no, and that was never my play. It was like I said, I was at that game, and I remember the feeling of seeing Kobe Bryant run out the locker room in the purple. He was wearing the purples because it was a Clipper home game, And I'm like, wow, like that's Kobe. You know, that was my first time seeing him play in person. And it was like a different feeling.
Oh man, we're in the Art District at one of the best Kobe murals I've ever seen, man. I haven't been to any murals since he passed and Gigi passed, but this one is like, I've been up and close, it feels like he's right here. It definitely hits different here in LA. He spent his whole career here. He had like the perfect LA swagger to him. He had like this certain level of flair, cockiness. He was very serious about his business, and he was about the people, man. And as you can see, there's murals all around LA, and it's for a reason, man. He left an impact way bigger than basketball. There's a lot of players that I emulate their game, but like Kobe, I emulated the game, but also the mentality. I think his work ethic and the mentality is what everybody in LA has adopted. You may not have to do the Kobe fadeaways and the patented footwork and, you know, pounding on the chest and the Mamba faces, but the thing that you can take away from him that we all miss is the mentality. Kobe still impacts the LA culture tremendously. I feel like now we've just taken what he did and he left us out a blueprint, he left out a legend, and we have every single piece to be successful. He laid it out for us. I don't care if he stayed on this earth for 100 years or 40 years. He left it all out there for us to emulate. Kobe wouldn't want it any other way. You know what I'm saying? He wants us to keep pushing forward, continue to be 1% better every single day, better than you were the next day. And I think that whole LA mentality is shown with that.
There we go.
Yo.
Oh,
What's good with it? What's the word, Big Flair?
Man, ain't much, dude. Ain't much. Just out here enjoying the day. You know, it's a hot day out here. We got the good weather. We got the good weather back for the weekend.
For those who don't know, Jack Flaherty just joined the conversation. He is the ace for the St. Louis Cardinals. He is an LA native, received Cy Young votes in 2019.
11 strikeouts for Flaherty.
And he's a childhood friend of Mr. Pope and the dude that just popped back in, AJ Fritz.
The Clipper fan.
So AJ, can you see everybody in here right now?
Yeah, I can see it. What up, Jack?
Pretty man, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
God, man, I'm good, man. It's been a minute. God, yeah.
Man, so hey, man. So listen, man. I'm kind of lead it off a little bit. So look, man. I'm glad that we all here and we all kind of connected in certain ways, man. So it's a blessing to be on this with you guys during such a crazy time. And one common thing that we have is the love for Kobe Bryant and what he did, obviously, in each one of our lives. You know what I'm saying? And for me, as a basketball player, it's easy for me to say how much I loved him, and it was easy for me to like go out on the court and emulate and do what he does. But for you guys, you know, baseball, film, acting, everything that you guys do, I'm glad that we're all connected through Kobe Bryant and what he did for us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to have you guys on. And I'm interested to hear what he did for you guys in different ways. Obviously, all good stuff, because that's the only thing we can talk about when it comes to Kobe.
You just said you all kind of link. You want to add a little context to that from back in the day?
Me and Flair, man, we go back to Slam Squad days, man. One of probably the greatest team ever assembled. I'm not gonna lie.
Ain't no doubt about that.
So, you know, Coach Brandon Early was the spearhead for that. Got a bunch of kids, knuckleheads from Burbank, to kind of come together and play collectively. And a lot of minorities, you know, we had all the black kids from Burbank pretty much all on one team, and take us to different tournaments, practice in churches, practice outside. And Jack was a part of that with us, man. And he was everything we needed on the court. And obviously we missed each other a lot because he was obviously a baseball player. So there was a lot of times when he wouldn't come to tournaments and do certain things. But over the years, we've both grown in different areas, and we've always stayed in touch because we share that brotherhood. I know AJ. I don't know exactly how AJ and Jack know each other, but I know it's through the game of baseball of some sort. But hey, maybe you guys can talk about that. I guess you guys could talk about that off air. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to talk about that on here.
Jack, appreciate you, man. We were just kind of talking about first memories of Kobe because you were one when he was a rookie. So conscious life, don't really know it without Kobe. And if people want to do their research, you have a great article, Players Tribune, Mamba Year. JJ and I were talking about how now we're up at this like 1 year pretty much since the tragedy. And we we both can't believe it, right? Because it hasn't gone away.
It's like not real.
Nah, it's still not real. It doesn't feel like it really happened.
Yeah, right. Like it just. I'm gonna let you go, but like, cause I didn't say
it's still one of those things. Like I remember the day, and like my best friend just came in the room. Like he was staying at my place. He came in the room, like woke me up, told me the news. I said, that's like. He told me TMZ reported it, and I was like, all right, like it's probably not true. Like I'm just gonna let it be. But I called the one person who I knew like would know the truth, and I called her. And she was on the phone crying right then and there because it was like before the news picked it up or anything. And it was just rumors. But right then and there, I was like, nah, this is real. And I don't know. I just think the timing of it all and the way it all happened, it's felt weird. I went to their first game back. I just happened to be at that one, the first game back at Staples Center after his passing when they did the whole tribute and everything. And I guess it sunk in there. But there's still points where it doesn't feel like it's real.
Yeah, that's for sure. When did he first come into your mind as a person? As this dude.
It was probably that too at the finals against the Pacers. That first one. That was probably my earliest, like very faded memories. Sprained ankle. Comes back the next game, Shaq fouls out, like brings him back. That one, it just kind of speaks to it, Shaq fouls out, you get to just still a super young dude, just decided, he comes out, takes over the game, leads them to like an important win right there in that series.
That was the game he did the chill joint. He did
the chill. Just I'm pretty sure he said, I got this. Like when Shaq fouled out, he was like, I got this.
I got this. He's like 18 years old.
Yeah, young, confident. But that confidence never wavered, even from, he talks about, having the 4 air balls in Utah. And it was just like, everybody talks about, just having the confidence to even keep shooting after not 1 or 2, but keep shooting after 3. And especially in important times in the playoffs against that Jazz team, which was, they were nice. And, obviously you have the finals against AI, them two matching up against each other. And then you go there, but probably the earliest, like most vivid one was 2004. I think it was the last game of regular season against Portland when he hit the buzzer beater at the top of the key to tie the game. At the end of the game, and then he hit the game winner, coming off the screen and just fading away over. I don't remember what the dude's name was, but he hit the fadeaway for the win. And those are probably that's the most like vivid one I could think of. I'm sure that there's more, but that's like the most vivid one that I could think of. I can remember where I was watching that game.
So Fritz, because. Yeah, obviously, like he did those things, but as a kid, like what were just the feelings about Kobe? Like what, as a 5-year-old, whatever, 8-year-old, what were the feelings of seeing this dude, do what Jack just said, Yeah,
it's a great question. I think the difference between Kobe and any other athlete, for that matter, or public figure, right, that you looked up to or idolized, was that not only were you watching him but you were listening to what he said. He was vocal and he went about it in such a good way that, like, I was like, I'm interested in Kobe. Like, I want to be like Kobe in the sense that, you know, he's a hard worker. He says the right things. He's a team guy. He's always pushing the people around him. And so it's like you almost knew him a little bit. And because he made that such a part of his identity, you wanted to be like him. You wanted to emulate him. And I think like having all of us here is you know, really shows that, right? Like whether you're an athlete, whether you're an actor in film, I'm much more boring, but even, you know, working in real estate, right? Like,
shut your ass up, AJ. Shut your ass up, man. I'm not going for that.
But like working in real estate or doing whatever you're doing, understanding that you have your lane and that intangibles matter, that work ethic matters, and that from that you can achieve anything, no matter what you're doing. And that's what he meant, right? And that's what we got as an early age and guided all of us, you know, even in our young careers so far to the levels that we're at.
Kind of comment on that then, coming up, like what does that do to see someone like that? Because I look at us on the screen right now and just know that we were all impacted and shaped by him.
All right. So for me, obviously playing the game of basketball and being a junior Laker at the YMCA and doing the whole nine, you know, I was a big time Kobe guy. And big time Laker guy. I was born a Laker guy because my mom's is a Laker fan and everything. So for me, man, just the first, like what he meant to me at that time was like, I need to be the best. I need to be him. So like how he emulated Mike, you know what I'm saying? I was like, well, I'm about to be like Kobe. But then as you get older and stuff like that, you start realizing, you know, your game, the body movements and things like that. But it was more for me, the mentality, like AJ was talking about and like Jack and like we've all spoke about. It was just like his quest for greatness was what kind of drove me, you know, to be great. So no matter what I did and the way I played, the way I did certain situations, I just always wanted to have that tough, never give up, persevere through any moment. He said in one of his last interviews with the 4 air balls game, like you just got to kind of get over yourself and that it's not always about you, you know? So for me, it was like, you know, you're going to have your downfalls. I'm going to miss shots. I'm going to airball. I'm going to miss, you know, I'm not going to always have 20, you know what I'm saying? But it's how you bounce back from those things and you continuously prepare yourself for something way bigger than just one game. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely touched me with everything in that. And as far as a memory goes, I remember the 81-point game vividly. I remember obviously everything else, but I definitely remember the 81-point game because actually, AJ, I think your mom's had got shirts and it was from they gave her extra shirts and Auntie Kim had gave me a yellow shirt that I got somewhere in the crib. And it said like 81 on the back, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, I was at school, like JJ said, people talking all that Bron talk and all this. Yeah. And I was like, I'm at school, like, does your GOAT have 81? And it's like, I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll wait to see. It's like, oh, he don't got 3 championships. He don't got, you know, scoring average 35. All right, I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's much deeper than just the game. It's more so the mentality and what he's able to do with my life and everything and like that. So I'll let JJ take the floor on that.
One thing about Kobe was, you know, like you talked about, like Jack talked about, just like the air balls, man. Like a lot of people wrote him off. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, as you really would. Like we watch LaMelo Ball right now, and he's killing. But if he wasn't killing, we'd all be on it, and be like, he ain't even like that. You know, he's not. But the fact of the matter is, I touched on this earlier. I don't know if Fritz was there. But like everything that we admire about the best players, sometimes it's something that's not attainable. So, damn, Shaq is insane, but like I'll never be Shaq, doesn't matter. Michael Jordan is insane. He can glide through the air. Like you don't know if you're gonna have that. You have to be blessed with certain things. The big hands, LeBron James is just, it's like, you know, like there's certain things that's just like,
There's certain things that guys are blessed with. Like
Exactly.
That's truly gifted. Like Shaq's 7'1", 300 some pounds. Bron got basically a 50-inch vert.
Exactly. That you know, even Dr. J and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, like, you know, like I said, everybody wanted to be like Mike and you couldn't. But Kobe could. And Kobe didn't have the big hands. Kobe didn't jump. Kobe was very athletic. But Kobe was not athletic as Michael Jordan was. He was jumping on the free throw line and doing all this shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, he wasn't big as Shaq and Dunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, Kobe, to me, is the GOAT. And I'll explain that later if we get to it. Why? But all that stuff is a testament to the fact that we are also normal people. You know what I'm saying? And we can be the best with our normal, you know, physical features that God has given us. Not the ones that, you know, God has given us that aren't like everybody else. Like Kobe airball 4, he wasn't good at first. Like, yeah, he was, but like nobody else airball 4 times in a row and then became like the best. You know what I'm saying? And I think a specific story that really made me love Kobe, and not even specific really, was really like after the rape trial. And number one, like going on record, fuck no, like he did not rape this girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that. Like, I just don't believe her. But regardless of the fact, when that was over, every fucking time he went to Denver, he could have
to be able to
like, and the fact that he was performing. No matter like what, that stuff it gets to everybody else. So it's like that was what not separated. A lot of things separate Kobe from other people, but the fact that like that's not gonna bother. I see people, even Bron sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like Bron is everybody else
all the time.
It's like, bro, you're in the NBA. People are gonna say respectful things to you. Crowd is gonna hate on you. Crowd is gonna cuss you out. Crowd is going to give you racial slurs. Crowd is going to talk about your wife. Crowd is going to say a lot of stuff. Crowd is going to say, and you raped this woman? But you can tune it out and get 50 and 48, 70. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking insane to me.
Kobe welcomed all that stuff that you just said. Like that kind of stuff that you just said. And that's like in everyday life. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get the bad end of the short end of the stick. Everything's going to be pretty, you know, real estate, AJ. You say it's not cool, but you know, there's going to be some things that don't go your way, but it's how you respond to those things during those moments. And Kobe, every single time, it didn't matter what it was, he was responding to that moment. Absolutely 100% to even exceeding expectations to what you think. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, but you're absolutely right though. You know what I mean? We all have we had these aspirations that were formulated from like people like Kobe that we inspired to, you know, be like and to be great because they were. But with that comes like adversity every day, things you have to overcome every single day. You know what I mean? In your own life. And so having that resiliency and being able to, you know, forget something that may be negative so that you could, you know, push through whatever it is that day, allows you to look up, you know, even through a rough 2020 and say, you know, I made it, or I overcame something, or, you know, I developed this new skill or got better. You know what I mean? Which is what he was all about.
That's a fact.
Actually, it's real.
That for somebody that says they're not a legend like you, that was some strong words, my good brother.
Fred, I didn't know he was deep like that.
Man, we have these deep conversations all the time, Flair.
That's true. What am I talking about?
Listen, man. Hey, so let me ask you this real quick. I want to ask Jack something real quick. So baseball wise, right? I know Mookie Betts definitely loves Kobe Bryant. He definitely displayed that once they won the World Series and, you know, embodied it. Outside of Mookie, because I'm not as big of a baseball fan, I really only watch the Cardinals or the Dodgers, you know what I'm saying? For somebody that is a big-time Kobe and carries his soul with him in his baseball, what is it about him that you use for baseball? You know what I'm saying? What is it that sticks with you?
Man, there's so many different ways that answer could go.
Yeah. But just whatever you could bless me with while you're eating your eats, man.
Like you're eating the pregame.
One of the talks about is being able to separate. You know, he talks about in his Muse documentary, where especially during that rape case, is being able to separate, his personal life from getting on the court, which is why he talked about the creation of the Black Mamba. where he did that because he says Kobe had to deal with this, you know, like whether it was fighting with his wife or, you know, family troubles or anything on the field. But the second he stepped on that court, like the Black Mamba just got to play the game. Like he just got to do that. And I think it's one of those things, like, you don't really realize it, but you have to be able to separate life from your job, from whatever it is, and being able to take that time where you're at your job to be present, fully present there and full on be there. You know, whatever else is going on in your life, whatever else may be going on, whether it's family, whether it's like, you know, relationships or something, being able to separate that while you're there and you're present in the game. And then the same thing can be said for, you know, a lot of people tell him, you know, you shoot too much, you do this, like you don't pass the ball enough. And it's just like, I mean, this is the way I play. This is my game. And being so confident in the way that he plays and that it's going to work out, that he stayed true to himself. Like, it don't matter what anybody else, it doesn't matter how, you know, however many people are there. You know, for me, it doesn't matter the 50,000 people that are in the stands can say whatever, could think whatever, could do whatever, and they can write whatever they want to write after the game. But like, it doesn't matter. Like, that's just your opinion. Your opinion does not matter. You're not out here doing what I'm doing. Yeah. And I think that's like the big thing. And that goes in all aspects of life, no matter what your job is. I mean, shoot, man, that's just the way it is. And that's the way he went about it.
Real quick, just to piggyback, I really fuck with that answer just because, like, a lot, especially because now, and that goes back to I said this earlier, so one of my friends said Kobe couldn't play in today's game, and I didn't even entertain it. But, like, what you said was big, though. It was like a lot of people talk shit. That's people's jobs is to talk shit. You know, some people.
But now in social media too, where people can hide behind a screen and just say whatever the hell they want. Like, if you keep that stuff on, you read everything and like you look and you really listen, like it'll change your mood. Like, you could read all the things about you after a bad game, or like you did this or that. Like, it'll get you, but then you realize, like, nah, it's refreshing. Like, all these people really want to like come here and like talk that. Like, all right, cool.
So I'm the same way. It's proved. Like, I have an agenda to prove to y'all that no, like, this is about, like, I know what's going on. I'm out here doing it. Y'all not out here doing it. And then your other point to, like, where, like, he separated himself. It's like, man, I see players like, I'm sorry, Clipper fans, but weak ass Paul George, bro, throwing the ball to the side of the backboard and shit. And then he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I was hurt by that.
Because he's in his head about whatever it is that it is. If it's people talking about his play, if it's this
worried about it, like,
worried
about his legacy and all that. Like, that's
it's like, forget what y'all talking about. I'm out here doing it. But it's just the fact of, like, mentally separating yourself. And that's why, Flair, I liked your point where it's like, man, y'all can talk about that shit, 50,000 people. Y'all can throw beers. Y'all can do whatever. Y'all not me. Y'all not out here on this field. Y'all don't know what it's actually like to actually be in this atmosphere. So nothing you say should matter because you don't even know what you're talking about. And he understood that. Kobe understood that. A lot of players still don't understand that.
No, it's really easy to sit there, and I'm sure same thing on the bench. Like, sit there on the bench, you know, for me, like in between innings, like really easy to sit there, look up at, you know, the stats or numbers for the game and be like, all right, if I do this, then like my ERA can go down to this. You know, we're through 5 innings. Like, I've given up like 1 run. If I don't give up another run for 2 more innings, my ERA is going to go down to this. They're going to say this, and they're going to start writing this, and this is going to be good. Like, this is great. And it's really easy to sit there, and I'm sure it's easy to sit there in the middle of a game in basketball when you got all these people around you telling, you know, maybe whatever the number, you look up, you see your numbers. Like, they're there. You see your rebounds. Like, it's all there. It's all easy to see. And it's really easy to sit there and start thinking, like, okay, man, if I got to average this for the season, like, I got to put this up. And, like, if I don't do this, they're going to say this about me. Mm-hmm. And then, but there was never anything like that. Like, you could see the focus on him of, like, he was all in on the game all the time.
And you know what's actually great about that too is it's not easy to mentally lock in on. It's not about my stats. It's not about what's going on elsewhere. It's about how I'm going to perform in these next 2 innings, the rest of this game. And the beautiful thing about Kobe, right, that I keep reiterating because it sticks to me and will always be such a guiding factor in how I live my life. And I see it all the time when I see Jack, you know, playing. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Jack's routine, like, probably one of the most disciplined players I've ever been around, seen, witnessed.
He has a pregame meal right now.
Exactly. One of the most disciplined.
Already.
And it's like,
I see it already. I was like, oh, that boy, that boy, I'd be like him. I'd be like my boy Flair.
Right? And it's like that mentality, which is elite from everyone on this screen, you know, from Kobe, but why? It was rooted in that work.
Yeah.
The work. You know what I mean? He knew it doesn't matter what other people are saying. Like, I know what I'm going to do because I put in the work and I'm comfortable with how I'm going to execute.
Or whatever outcome comes, because I know that I work my ass off. And I can't control life, but I can't control how hard I work. So if we lose a game, we win a game, whatever, I play the same. I play just as hard every game. If we lose and they talk shit about me, it's not going to bother me because I play my ass off.
My top Kobe moments are, I mean, you got to start it off with the 81. I like scoring a lot, so seeing a guy score 81 points in this modern day era, nothing against Will Chamberlain, you know what I'm saying? He had 100, but you know, in this era, we have the whole footage, we documented. It's really crazy, man.
Kobe Bryant, he's got 61 points. Yes! Well, there's 70. Kobe's got the Laker record. Kobe Bryant, 2 for 20 from the line, and an 81-point game. Kobe Bryant.
Other top Kobe moments, I believe it was like 05. That was the year he went crazy. It was in the playoffs against the Phoenix Suns. We thought we were down and out. Comes down, wills us to the win. And then at the end, he hits the game winner from the patented elbow. And he does the woo, shows off the chest, man, and goes crazy, starts pounding on his chest. And then my all-time favorite one, it's hard to say, but the 60-point game, his last game, was really memorable, man, because I think the whole world stopped to watch that game, and myself included. I couldn't watch it around a lot of people. I was by myself. My parents were out on a date, and I had to really lock into from the presentation all day until the pregame, you know, Magic Johnson.
Excellence for 20 years.
To the game where he has 60 in his final game.
And desperate to get to the basket and score. And he does. This is like old times now. Bryant going to the basket. Hey, Bryant. There it is. A 50-point game. Bryant on the move with the jumper. He goes. 60.
Until the ending presentation where he congratulates the fans of LA like myself, and then he hit us with the Mamba out, man. That was one of the best moments I've ever seen.
God, I love you guys. And I love you guys. Mamba out.
I know bringing people together, conversations about Kobe go wherever they go. Jack, like you said, you can take that so many ways. But I just know personally, and from watching from a distance too, like how important he was. And he definitely struck a nerve with all of us. And I do think it hits different if you grew up during this time and saw him, because we're talking right as if it was like fatherly advice, like Jack, kind of what you said about your mentality and him paving the way. That sounds like he spoke to you, right? And was like, Jack, this is what you got to do. But he never, I mean, we never met him, right?
I never had a conversation with him. I wish I had taken probably some of the opportunities I had to, but you know, I mean, he was like LA, whatever sport you kind of played growing up, like if you grew up in LA, like he just, I mean, maybe it's different if he was a Clipper fan, but
AJ and John.
I don't need that, Jack. I don't need that, Jack.
Spaghetti, okay, but if
Hey, see, that's the thing about Laker fans, though. They always want to hate on the Clipper fans. We're just trying to show love.
That's it. It's all positivity.
I was not throwing shade. I just truly did not know if like he was LA. Like he just was LA. You know, you had the Dodgers in at that time, but they didn't have was him. And so you just got to grow up and emulate him and whatever. And anytime you took whatever and you threw that into a trash can,
What?
and as you grew up, like, you know, you start playing beer pong, like you come down to the end, like,
Yeah.
and I know Steph is probably the best shooter of all time. I don't think maybe it's different, but like, it's just one of them things. Like, you just say Kobe. Like, hey, I don't know if kids nowadays are gonna start saying Steph or what. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be.
Hey, don't even put that in the universe, man.
I hope not, but I'm I'm sure one day it's gonna be different for a different generation. But for everybody, I mean, it was Kobe. And I don't know. That's just the impact that he kind of had.
And nobody was like, hey, you should say Kobe. Like, just everybody just was like Kobe.
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah.
I was saying it. I was rooting for the Clippers saying
it. Like, how did that become a thing? Just like, fuck Kobe. Like, you didn't forget that you even said it. Was like Kobe. All right, man. What were you talking about?
But another really funny part about that is, though, Kobe, if you missed it, that wasn't Kobe.
That wasn't Kobe.
Yeah. That was.
People crazy like, that ain't Kobe.
Yeah. Let me get that back.
Bro, that was the thing I thought about, because I've been thinking of my own Kobe stories. And since we got some baseball players here, you know that when you hit in the cage, you got to pick up the balls afterwards, and you can walk them into and toss them.
Balls to the bucket. You are shooting every single one.
You are shooting every single one.
Yeah, that's dope, because I didn't know that. That's dope.
No, you shoot them.
I did not know that.
No, yeah.
You put up with about 5 in your hand, and you just you try to make, and you make about 1 every 5, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
That one was Kobe.
Yeah. One was Kobe. That's crazy. I had no idea.
And personally, because, they weren't hoopers like the guys. Yeah. Because I would go from basketball to baseball, and it's still hard. Like, you shoot 1 of 5 if you're good. And we had so much respect for Kobe. My teammates would say Odom, because they knew it was broke.
Kobe's like, but we can't disrespect Kobe.
It's like,
that's foul, bro. We're not finna do my boy LO like that. That's what we're not about to do, right?
Bro, he's a Clipper. I love LO.
Hey, no disrespect. He's a Laker.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Time out. So he is a Clipper originally, but he got a ring with that man. Like, he knew he's a Laker. He's forever indicted.
But did he ever drop kick a basketball into the 20th row with the Lakers? I don't think so. Okay.
That's the stuff
he drop kicked that thing and then walked out the gym. That's the LOE.
I do remember that. And he was for sure a Clipper.
And he was wearing a Clipper jersey.
But see, that's why he was a Clipper. See, on the Lakers, we don't play that.
That's what I'm saying. Kuz would have been Kuz would have been a good Clipper, man, before he learned how to win. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's a little inside baseball where you just chuck it. And the problem is there's no backboard. So if you miss long, you got to pick it up, and then your coaches are mad at you because you're like delaying the stations and all that crap.
This is wild. Actually.
It was a thing. It was right.
Hey, hurry up!
But y'all like, fuck it, we gotta be Kobe. We gotta.
He got into the league. He was like, oh, I'm a rap. I'm gonna put out my rap album. I'm do all these things. You do all this stuff, and then like you see, he's winning championships, he's doing this, and then like when Shaq left, and then he starts kind of just honing in on the game, and was like, he reached this level of status, and he's like, I don't want to do these things anymore. I just want to hoop. I want to have my family, and he was obviously doing other things outside of the game as well, but. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things you kind of get in and you're like, I want to do this, and this. You want to do everything. Like, everything is put in front of you. You're like, I want to do it all. And then like you got to take that focus back in and, get your priorities right. Remember what's important, which he always seemed to have. He always seemed to have like what was most important. Like at the end of the day, like even, he talks about his crazy schedule in the off season of, getting up at 4 and going and working out. But then he says why he was up at that time, so he could be home for the kids and be able to take them to school, and then like be done to where he was like able to be done where he was able to like go and pick them up or whatnot, so he wasn't missing out on nothing.
JJ, that made me think of you, because Jack, kind of what you said, made me think was that Kobe was willing to try and put himself, like he was willing to airball 4 times in a row, and he was willing to fail. And whether that was trying different careers or different things before he found who he was. And, in your profession, as you said, it's failure. Trying to make it in the film industry as an actor or anything, it's just constant failure. So how do you relate to that regarding Kobe and what you do?
I mean, it's kind of exactly what you kind of said it kind of already. Like, it's not like, like obviously you're not trying to fail, but at the end of the day, I'm in a profession where actually in all of our professions, we know we're going to fail at shit. You know what I'm saying? But in mine more specifically, it's like, hey, like I know this audition. I know that there's hundreds of people going out for this audition. And, like I said, when I get on TV and people, oh my God, you're doing this. Oh my God, you're doing this. You don't know that I failed 40 times before this. And then the last time I got something right before that, I failed like 80 times before that. But you guys only see this, and that's great. And I'm glad you only see that. But people don't know about the struggle. And it's not for them to know about the struggle, but it's for me to be the best actor I can be. It's kind of like I think what you're like, I put myself in a position to fail, and I'm okay with failing because I know that failure is going to bring success. So I get all 3 auditions this week. It's like, all right, like I might get 1 out of 3 of these auditions. I might get 0 out of 3 of these auditions, but I know the more no's I get, the closer I get to my yes. And I feel like that's, in a way, the same with everything. Like, even like Kobe, you know what I'm saying? The fact that he was, okay, I'm going to shoot this. I airball. All right, the second time, mentally, it's like, all right, I got to make this one. You airball again? Okay. Because, like, we all hoop, so we know how this feels. So then the third one, Austin, for real, the third one, then you're like, maybe I shouldn't shoot this bitch. Maybe I'm going to pass that one. Or maybe I'm going to go in and shoot closer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's normal. You know what I'm saying? You just airball twice. Maybe shoot one from the free. Maybe lay the ball up this time. Maybe try to go to the. But Kobe's like, nah, I'm going to shoot that third one. Fuck it, I'm going to shoot this fourth one. And at the end, right on the surface level, it looks like, damn, you're a failure. But like, now he's like right here. So like.
but see, that's a fact. But but what you said, right? So, and speaking from a basketball perspective, bro, like you gonna airball, right? But like he said, bro, but what he said was the thing that key in that interview, he said, you got to get over yourself. He's like, okay, once you step outside yourself, okay, you airballed on 4 times in front of all your teammates, in front of all these fans, in front of your loved ones and people you care about. It's not that big of a deal. And then he said, from that point, it's like, how can I get better? So, okay, high school played 35 games, NBA, 82 game season, and playoffs, all that stuff. Okay, I need to get stronger. My legs need to get stronger. All the shots were on target, but
he was able to think about the why.
Exactly.
So he was why that happened.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna mess up. Okay, maybe you didn't get the audition you wanted, or you know what I'm saying, or maybe it's like, okay, so when you remove yourself from it and be like, all right, why did that happen? Okay, next time I'm about to do this. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And that's genuinely exactly how it is. It's like, it's actually 2 of them though. It's like sometimes you act your ass off. They actually tell you, wow, that was one of the best auditions I ever seen, Jordan. Yada. But I still didn't get the part. You got to get over yourself. This is not about you. You know what I'm saying? But then also certain auditions where you look at and you're just like, man, I didn't get that part. I don't know why I didn't get the part, but I know I could have done better. You know what I'm saying? I do that for shit that I'm even in. Like everyone keeps showing like the snowfall shit, and I'm like, man, I wish I did that scene better. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like not being complacent with where you are or anything, man. I mean, it's all just it's all a testament to Kobe, and it's more of a testament to just the fact that kind of like what I said earlier, how he's like a human being, and so you can relate to him more. You know what I'm saying? I don't think mentally I think he's insane. You know what I'm saying? Like Kobe's insane. The shit that like he went through and like, all the stuff that he was able to do. He's insane. Like he said that like in order to guard Allen Iverson, he studied how like a gazelle, or he studied how like a lion attack. Like some weird, like, bro, you're fucking weird, bro. You're fucking weird. But see, the thing is, you gotta have a different level of tick to be that great, man. You're not gonna just be this. You gotta have a little tick. But not to cut you off, because I know my man Jay Flair is a young Kobe in the training, man. So he got his time is valuable. So
Any
You got the
closing?
pregame. Go ahead, man. You gotta. Hey, brother.
Listen. We don't want to stop the greatness at the end of the day. So,
what else you got,
any closing?
Yeah.
Anything for Kobe in his closing, man? Anything you want to get off your chest?
I just say this, like, you talk about, Kobe, and, everyone talks about Mamba mentality. And that can mean something different to everybody. And, you mentioned the article and whatnot. And the reason I wrote that was because it felt like this year embraced all of those things. Everybody went through probably a lot of adversity, like the most adversity we've been through in our lifetime, hands down. And it was just like a lot of people was, cancel 2020. I can't wait for this year to be done. And it was like, I just don't think Kobe would have took it that way. It would have been more like, here's another challenge that you setting in front of me. How am I going to be better? Like, how am I going to be better than the person sitting next to me through this challenge? How am I going to be better than them? How am I going to get through this? How am I going to get better each and every day? And taking that Mamba mentality and being able to dig deep in certain situations, being able to dig deep no matter, where you're at, or finding that strength and finding those times where, like, especially when it comes to games, like when he was playing, and it's that unconscious confidence where it could be one of them games where he was maybe like 4 for 20, and it comes down to the end of the game, and if you're down 1, you got 5 seconds left, like ain't nobody else on the court you putting the ball in their hands.
Everybody in the gym knows. Everybody in the gym knows.
It doesn't matter if he's 4 for 20 or if he's like 16 for 20. It doesn't matter. They're like, you scared to death. Like, this killer inside. Like he's been waiting for this. He's like, y'all let me get to this. It's like, you let me get to this point right now. Like, I've been this bad all game. You let me get to this point, I'm gonna make you pay.
I'm making this one.
I'm making this, and you're gonna go home and you still ain't beat me today.
Exactly.
And just doing whatever it takes on the court, whatever it takes with his teammates, whatever it takes in the flow of the game, whatever he had to do, he would do. And if the team was struggling to score, and he got to go drop 30 in a quarter, he'd do that. If team's flowing and guys are putting up, he dished the ball out and he'd do what he'd have to do. But when it came down to that time, like that was that time of the game. Like you knew, like I'm taking this home. Like, yeah, we got here, but I'm taking this thing home. We're closing this thing out. And he was always able to dig deep, no matter what he was shooting like that game. And he found another level. He found another level mentally, and he was able to do whatever he had to do to get it done.
Hey, man, that's 100% facts. Can't even put that into any better words, my good brother. Hey, man, so listen, I'm gonna give everybody else a chance to say peace out to you. But, hey, man, I appreciate you for hopping on first and foremost. You look healthy. You look well. You look good, man. I'm happy for you, man. And I know you're gearing up for a good season, man. I know you're gearing up for a good one.
Appreciate you.
And it was nice meeting you too, for real.
Nice to meet you, man.
For real. Good guy. You're a good guy, man. You're a great guy.
I appreciate it, man. It's nice to meet you.
When we playing catch?
Man, I don't know. The sun is shining right now.
Bruh, I'm about to pull up.
Yeah, I hit you.
Good to see you, bro.
Man, appreciate it.
Jack, I appreciate you, man.
John, thank you. I appreciate it. Always appreciate it. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Take care, bro.
Actually, I got a funny story. We've been talking about, obviously it's about Kobe. And one of the big themes, that we've alluded to that I'll kind of coin, I guess, right now is the process. Like we've been talking about Kobe, his process and how you prepare for, whatever it is that you're doing. It was in 2019. I work in our LA office, but one of my really close friends works in our Orange County office, and our teams, work together a lot. And so I on occasion come down to the Orange County office to work for the day or for a few days and try and find those synergies. And going back to Kobe, I would always try and hit the gym before, I hit the office, right? Early in the morning. Why? People tell me I'm crazy. Why do you get up so early? It was something that Kobe and my parents and everybody instilled in me. But anyway, I'm in the Orange County office, and I'm hitting Equinox in Newport. And this is, like I said, 2019. It's probably, and I made the drive up that morning. And so, it's like 5, 6, whatever time it is, pretty early. I'm in the gym. Who do I see working out with a trainer? Kobe Bryant. It's 2019. You know what I mean? He's not playing basketball. He's just getting his work in at 6 a.m. before he goes to his office and goes about, whatever business he had that day. We know how successful he was post basketball. And a side note, of course, what did I do? Text everybody. Kobe's in the gym. Kobe's in the gym. I can see Kobe. But that story is so powerful because he was still doing the same thing. He was still committed to the same process, even beyond, the Laker jersey itself or the trophy itself. It was instilled in him that this is my process. And no matter what I'm going to do, today I'm going to get better. And today, I'm going to achieve that next goal. And so it was like, Kobe, why does he need to be in the gym? What more does he need to do? You know what I mean?
He doesn't need, honestly, if he never worked another day, I'd be like, you're good, Kobe. You did
right. But it was who he was. You know what I mean? And obviously that's the last time I ever saw Kobe in person. One of the few times I saw Kobe in person, and just another dude getting his work in. You know what I mean? It all comes from guys like that and showing us a way that we could do it. It means more than we're able to articulate like this.
Absolutely.
Often enough.
I was going to say, it's hard to put that shit into words because that's probably a surreal experience. Like just being like, bro, I'm just here trying to work out. Yes, I'm astonished by Kobe, and yes, all that is great. But like, this thing is in the gym right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start thinking about yourself. Like, even though we know you work hard, we always attained it to something. We're like, we attribute it to like, okay, he always works hard. Why? Because he got to win his ring. Why? Because he got to prove the doubters wrong. No, because that's him. And it goes back to the same exact thing that we were saying about like, it doesn't matter what people think and what they say. I'm going to still go out here and perform. Even on a good, hey, we're fans. Kobe, you ain't got to work out. I'm not doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this because this is who I am. Good or bad. I don't care about what y'all think. It's like, damn, you really don't give a fuck what people think, bro.
It's one thing for people to tell you work hard. Yeah. I'm sure everybody in this discussion has gotten that. Fortunately. Yeah,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's one thing to say, yeah, I work hard. And then it's another to be like, they think I work harder
than everybody.
I got to do it tomorrow. I got to do it next week.
Yeah, you're right.
They expect it. I got to up my game. You know what I mean?
I remember one story because I met Kobe once. And this is so cool because I knew that it wasn't bullshit because I've seen him do it to his daughters. Where like he just knows he's insane. So he just knows where everybody is. So Kobe does this thing with his daughters where like, he knows where they're sitting. So like he don't have to look at you to high five you. He'll just put his hand back.
Yeah.
And hit it, right? So like, what was the Brentwood, prestigious white school, Jack Nicholson's kids, Lou Adler's kids. So my boy Manny Adler would always take me to Laker games, and sometimes when his dad didn't go, we got floor seats. So I probably sat floor like 3 times during like my high school year, bro. Crazy, right? And also and for me, it was like, it was just like, do you want to go to the game? Like, yeah. It's like, bro, like it's like nothing, bro. It's like nothing.
He like, wait, like when I gotta be there. Like,
so we went to, I think it was game 3 of Lakers Suns. This was before he hit the buzzer. The next game is when he hit that buzzer beater. So I'm on the floor, and like where they sit is like the floor by the away team. You know what I'm saying? So like, Tim Thomas and all them and shit. They're like shooting free, all doing their warm up routines and shit. And the ball rolled over to me, and Steve Nash was like, "Shoot it." So from out of bounds, I shoot that bitch. Like I missed, right? You know what I'm saying? I hit rim though. I didn't airball.
No, you didn't. Really?
And I like chucked it from like out of bounds, and it was so crazy because like, bro, like depth perception in the league, I don't know how y'all make shots because like it's going on.
Especially the NBA trade, like the NBA trade is different. It's different.
So we walk over to the side where Kobe and them, they doing layup lines, just regular layup lines. Brian Cook come out, boom. He comes back from the layup line. You do the layup line, but then you get the rebound and you cross back over to the shooting side. So after you got the rebound, he crossed back over. Brian Cook dapped him up. Kwame Brown dapped him up. Luke Wall dapped him up. Sasha dapped all these motherfuckers up. Kobe came past and like, not that I froze, but like I put my hand out and he like didn't dap me up. It's the only person I really wanted to dap up.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so when he gets to the back of the line, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no way. Did he not see me? Like, it wasn't no asshole. You know what I'm saying? It just was like, bro, what the? He's so concentrated. He didn't see me. Everybody else saw me. He's a different dude. And he finally gets the ball because, there's 5-6 people in the line before they go. And he finally gets the ball and got the ball, took one dribble. When he dribbled, he threw it to his left hand, and then he put his hand out behind. But it wasn't like no act. Like, you're not going to do, like he saw me, and he put his hand out, and he, like, didn't look back either. And I tapped his hand, and when I tell you, I almost threw up on the fucking court. I'm not even I almost literally vomited. And Manny was dying laughing because he's like met Kobe and stuff before.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I'm never washing his hand. Like what? Like I didn't actually wash my hands in COVID times. I can't even tell the story, but I didn't wash my hand probably till like late. Like we got home and like I ate and shit, and I was like, I'm not washing my hands. Fuck that shit. Yeah. And then I had to get in the shower, and when I showered and shit, I was like, fuck. I almost put a shower cap on my shit.
Hey man, listen. My boy Jigga, my boy AJ about to get up out of here, man. I want everybody to say a farewell to my brother. And then if you have any closing remarks on Kobe, if you want anything you got to say, definitely I'll give you the floor, man.
Appreciate it, man. This was great, y'all. Just chopping up with y'all, seeing you guys, seeing how well you're doing, and hearing you guys, it's we don't do it enough. So I appreciate it. And this is, refreshing, you know what I mean? And so, love doing it. It's as far as Kobe goes. I mean, I'll leave y'all with this. There's especially in today's world, 2021, we don't know, what's ahead in these next few months. You know what I mean? 2020 was filled with an abundance of uncertainty. And so one thing that I appreciate, that I, got from Kobe amongst others was that given all that uncertainty, given all the adversity I know that's ahead, I was always confident and always felt that I had my work. I had the ability to put in that work and to go to bed and to wake up every day and know that no matter whatever uncertainty was out there, I had, instilled in me the ability to put my best foot forward and to try and outwork any and everybody on that next day. And so I'm grateful for that. And that gives me confidence in the future, right? For myself, for those around me, for all of you guys. And so that I'm internally grateful to guys like Kobe for helping me find that. And that's something that I, appreciate every single day. And so to hear you guys say the same thing and to be able to have these conversations, I can't thank you enough. So appreciate you guys, including me. And like I said, I love you guys and thank you so much. We got to do it again soon.
Absolutely, brother.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while, man.
Definitely.
For real.
Hey, man, I love you, Jigga, man. You take care of yourself. You look good, man, and keep doing what you do.
You look great, man. No boys,
bro.
You look great.
Thanks, bro. Mm-hmm. I appreciate y'all. I love you. I'm going to see y'all soon.
Hell yeah.
Have a great one,
bro. Yep.
Likewise.
Okay. I always explain it like this. You've seen the movie Hercules.
Absolutely.
The cartoon, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite one. Yeah.
Perfect. So you know the exact fucking story. So you know that Zeus is the Nick. Zeus. Fucking Zeus. We didn't talk about Zeus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Zeus made Hercules. Like Jordan made Kobe. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Right. Hercules go through all his trials and tribulations, his failure. We see his failures, we see his success. You see, and then at the end of it, he finally goes up to the gods, and all the gods are like, nah, now you that dude.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So if Michael Jordan is Zeus, then Kobe is Hercules.
Absolutely. Nah, you couldn't have put it any better. You couldn't have said that any.
And honestly, and I'm taking Hercules.
That's a fact. Hearing your process and going through it and your nose and stuff. When I cut out this Zoom, it's just going to make me more lit because I got a treadmill right here. I'm about to eat and hop on the treadmill and start getting my work in and do my process because I get to hear what y'all go through and you guys have success in your realms. And it's like, it's a blessing, man.
It truly is, man, especially just hearing it from different perspectives. And that's what Kobe really did, real talk. I'm not going to speak for long, but like that's what he did.
No.
He brought us all together in different professions, like for real. Like he really did. Like we all have the same mindset. Really, and it don't have to be about basketball. You know what I'm saying? It just is about your career and about whatever you're doing, having that Mamba mentality, like for real. And
hey, that's it.
Nothing can stop you but yourself. And that's the beauty of Kobe. He really did. Like he really brought us together like this. And of course, we all, like when we were younger, we hooped, you know what I'm saying? But then when we all like got to our professions, some people were better than others, like Austin, and you know what I'm saying, where you can still hoop professionally. And some people's like, okay, but I'm still gonna keep that Mamba mentality. You know what I'm saying? Not just because I do real estate or because I'm an actor now. I'm a work less hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Like, and that's the biggest part for me, especially with Kobe. And like, my father wasn't around, and just the fact that he taught me a lot, you know what I'm saying, about work ethic and being a normal human being and still being able to achieve your goal. You know what I'm saying? Well, like no matter what you're doing, like it's not about everybody else. Sometimes, of course, we live in LA. It's like, oh, you got to network, you got to do this. You also got to work really hard.
Yeah.
So like people forget that though. People forget that you got to come from somewhere.
JJ, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you always, dog.
Like I said, couldn't do a Kobe thing without you. So
yeah, I mean, come on, man. I can't not do it. Like, I'm Kobe. I'm Kobe.
Yeah.
No, it is cool waking up and just being inspired by him and like just in my crib. Like I have a picture right here. I have 2 pictures right there. Pictures in my room, like bathroom. Like it's just Kobe. It's just Kobe. So like it's hard to wake up and not want to be great. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, bro. We'll be talking. Much love, AP.
All right,
man.
my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, love y'all, man, for real.
Take care. Love you too, boy.
Love you too, man.
All right.
You just watched the Mamba Generation Tribute and Special. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope we brought some joy, got some insight to Kobe and how he impacted us. It was a blast. And Austin, I'll leave it to you, man. We're all hopefully, and we are, I can say that for you and the people that we spoke to, you're someone's Kobe. And now we don't have him here to kind of pave the way. So for you, what does that mean to you to carry part of that mantle? What are you saying to the people that are watching this, trying to get inspiration and to feel good that there are people that are taking the baton, whether the baton, Kobe could hold it by himself, but now you got everyone taking pieces of it.
Man. Well, as far as me, man, for me being somebody's Kobe, man, I definitely want to just continue to live the way that he lived, and he set the example. So for me, working hard every day, never settling, always, regardless of adversity, keep pushing forward and never giving up in what you do. And for me, it's just carrying the mental forward and also sending the elevator back down to those that are maybe at a lesser level than they want to be in, and they admire me. And I just want them to know that they can keep going, and that basketball and whatever you do is just the entry point. You can affect people in so many different ways, and that's not always just the main thing. So through the game of basketball, yes, I want to continue to inspire people. But if you really dig deep down into my YouTube, into Instagram, and what you're able to see, and if you get to know me on a personal level, I hope that I want people to come back and say like, yeah, man, like Austin, like, yeah, he's a great basketball player, but he's an even better person. He's a better brother. He's a better friend. He's a better son. You know, he's a better, you know, just everything to other people, and know that that's exactly what Kobe was, more than just a basketball player. So.
Gee, that's beautiful, man. Obviously, I've had the honor to be your friend and know you like that, and that's exactly how I feel. So I'll let you speak to the camera and send them off with your send off for this. But I appreciate you, man, for real. This was a blast.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, man. We came together with this, and we are the co-creators, the co-creator, however you want to call it, and we came together as a team to make this thing shake. And for all the people, let me look at the cameraman, for all the people that's watching, I appreciate you guys, man, and hopefully we can stream this for years to come. Maybe it could be a yearly anniversary thing where every year we celebrate Kobe in a good way. Make sure that you give back in ways that you can with all the links provided, with the organization and the foundation. And hey, man, the Burbank Kid is signing out. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. I got to get something to eat and watch some of this and digest this a little bit. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And as always, y'all be smooth how y'all be smooth. Peace.